First is BRICS, is it an organization or platform which is labeled as anti-West? We'll ask the question for all the participants here. But actually, we made some research. The research shows that most of the BRICS members have no interest in anti-West. Because actually, the reason we join BRICS is for the maximize of our benefits. The same with China, with Russia. Even Russia, obviously, Russia is on the front line of the confrontation with the West. However, Russia is always ready and willing to make negotiations if it's possible. And as for China, no conflict, no Cold War is our consistent flag for the talk with America in terms of the bilateral relations. So anti-West is not the label of the BRICS. And is BRICS going to remake the world? You know, just 2 months ago, as a covering story of the journalist, I think an economist, the map is that, will China remake the world? Ask ourselves, will China remake the world? Will China be a submersive power? Will China be that kind of changing power? Actually, if we put all the members here together, say, do we have the power to remake the world? I really doubt it. Ask the Western, America and most airlines, close airlines, do they have the power to remake the world? I deeply doubt it. Who can remake the world? Only the world itself can remake the world. In China, we have a saying, the invisible power and the most powerful power is tendency or trend. So how to define it? This is something really, really very important. Are we going to pick up sides for all the BRICS members? Are we encouraged to pick up sides? Never. We come to this platform for negotiation, for platform, for cooperation, not for picking up sides, sacrifice our benefits for the purpose of another benefits. So, because we are living in an intertwined world, again and again we have to emphasize it, which has an idea could be easily accepted by the developing countries, but while very difficult for the developed countries. So we are living in a world, in the Western discourse is like rule-based world. But actually the problem is, what is the rule? Who is subverting the rule? I'll give you some examples. The weaponization of the dollar, which is obvious. One of the future achievements of our BRICS is that we are going to build up possible, not replacement, but kind of, another alternative for the SWIFT system. But it is America itself who triggered the weapon to weaponize SWIFT system so as to sanction out Russia. So this set up a lesson for us to learn. It's very much send us a very, very strong message that if someone in the future dare to challenge their so-called interest, they will be sanctioned out. So who is weaponize the free trade system? The free trade system is such a very transfixed mode which they enjoyed tens of years. But funny thing is that when China gets some advantage in the future industry, now there will be a lot of stories that are spread widely in the world, like over-industry, like over-subsidy. These stories are very popular now. So free trade has been very much, devastated by the free trade makers. Another very, very funny thing is that have a look at the latest Olympic Games. What is weaponized is the doping checking system, ladies and gentlemen. China, because China is a threat to the Americans' supremacy in the swimming pool, so they make full use of the doping system by checking China's athletes for dozens of times, much more than the Americans. Now they have some nicknames for the American athletes teams. They're called Purple Face Athletes Team. They're called Asthma's athletes team. But nobody doubted. Why? Because they are the rule holders, but they are, overuse their system. So who is the rule-based, destroy the rule-based world? Let's talk about it. So what I'm going to talk about, argue, is that we are in the time we say once in a century change. Or in China, we'd like to use the word, we are stepping into a time of structural change. Tremendously structural change. I want to remind us some very important factors. Culturally speaking, no, politically speaking, something is wrong with the political system. Something is wrong with the social governance of style in the Western society. Such a very extremitized world, such a very well divided and separated world in the name of the pursuit of democracy. And economically, we're very proud is that we developing countries occupied and contribute more than 40% of the world's GDP, and we contribute 70%, more than 70% for the world's development of economy. So we are on the step of changing. And the last very important thing is culturally. I do think what is happening now in today's world is the capitalism society, which originally is the very, very early station, early expression of modernization, is stepping down. As a culture, that kind of mode is lacking its vigor of the nation. Let's see what is going to happen in the future. If a culture has no internal power to readjust itself, to adapt itself to another future, that culture would decline very, very dramatically.